E.N.D here. In a couple of days we will have the pre-release for Theros Beyond Dead, and I hope you're much excited as much as I am for a good pre-release. Today I'm going to give you my advices for a good pre-release for Theros Beyond Dead. Theros Beyond Dead, in my opinion, it's quite a very interesting set, not strong as much as Theros, as much as Throne of Eldraine or War of the Spark, but still has its strength, and I did my review of the set, which at the end of this video you will find a link to that particular video if you have missed it. So, my advice is for a good pre-release. A little bit of disclaimer, I'm not a professional player, I play at very amateur level, but here are a couple of advices that I will give you for a good pre-release for Theros Beyond Dead. First of all, two very important things. If you're going to have your pre-release at your local game store, your LGS, be there on time. Yes, be there on time, respect your friends, your opponents, the other players, respect the owner of the LGS, be there on time, pay your fee, get a seat and prepare for your pre-release. Also, something very important, do have a good hygiene, and most importantly, please don't eat and drink during the tournament. While you're playing, don't eat and drink, don't put food and any bottles on your table when you're playing. When your game is ended, you just go outside, have a drink some water, drink some soft drink, have a sandwich, and then back to play. Don't drink while you're playing. Now, very important things for a pre-release. You need your gear. And when I say your gear, you need some items that really and truly are essential for a good pre-release. First of all, obviously, you need to have something that counts life. And if you are old school as much as I am, obviously you need a notebook or a piece of paper where you write your scores, you write your life. Obviously you need a pen, that's very important, and just keep another pen as reserve. If the first pen stops writing, you have one. I don't really like asking someone to lend me a pen, because really and truly everyone should have a pen at their pre-releases. Obviously, as I said, I'm a little bit old school. I like to keep the life counter on a piece of paper. Obviously, if you are a little bit modern technology, nowadays there are these apps where you can keep count of the life via these apps. Obviously, most importantly, just make sure that your handset, your mobile is fully charged. You're going to stay there playing for around 5 to 6 hours, so you need quite an amount of charge. Also, if obviously your mobile does not have that much of battery life, bring with you a charger so that you can charge it between games. So it's very important that you have your life counter on an app, on a mobile, make sure that it's fully charged, and if not, bring a charger with you. Something very important, obviously, you need counters, you need dices. In my opinion, I like to bring my dices. 6, 7, 8 dices, there should be enough. These obviously, they are very useful. You can use them as a counters, you can use them anything, obviously to see who's going to draw first or play first. Keep a couple of dices with you. Obviously these are 20 dices, or you can have the 6, you have anything that you will use as counters. So keep some dices with you. Next one. You need sleeves. Sleeves are very important. Obviously you don't want to damage your cards, you don't want to crease your cards. So a pack of sleeves, new pack of sleeves, old pack of sleeves, doesn't matter. Most importantly that you will play your cards in sleeves. Now a small trick that I really like to use. Something, obviously, when you're going to open your 6 booster packs, you have 45 minutes to build your deck. Obviously you have to open, you have to read the cards, you have to check everything, you have 45 minutes. And then, once you build your deck, you need to sleeve them. And that thing, in my opinion, we underestimate how much time you're going to use to sleeve your cards. So something, a very good trick that I like to use, and really and truly doesn't really has any type of resources, pre-sleeves your lens. Yes, pre-sleeves your lens. Pre-sleeves your lens. 8, 9 lens pre-sleeved. Really and truly, you will save half the time in sleeving your deck. Just to have 8, 9 lens of obviously every basic lens, plains, swamps, islands, mountains, forest. 8, 9 pre-sleeved lens will save you 50% of the time to sleeve your full deck. Now, this is, in my opinion, what really and truly a player should have with him or her. Something else that maybe you can consider is a playmat. I don't think it's essential. I will put it here. As I said, it's not essential to have a playmat with you, but really and truly some players like to have playmats, and so what's wrong in having a playmat with you? So don't forget your playmat if you like to play on your playmat. Once you have everything ready and your time, you paid your fee, you sit down, you will get a box where you will have one of these spin down dice. You will have your 6 booster packs of Theros Beyond That, and that means you have usually 45 minutes depending on which LGS or depending on the job, but usually it's 45 minutes you will need in those 45 minutes to open your 6 packs, to sort them and build a good deck. So my opinion is this: once you receive your pre-release pack, open it, check your promo, open immediately the packs and sort them by color. Plains, white, blue, black, red, green, artifacts, lands and multicolors. That's very important. So you will open your pack, you will sort them by colors, and don't stay reading cards. At this stage, just sort them. Sort your packs. You have 6 out of them. Open all of them, sort them immediately, remove any garbage, and then begin building your deck. At this stage, you have a good idea which is your 2 strong colors. Yes, for pre-release, this is a limited, you have limited number of cards, you have very few cards, you have only 6 packs, that is 6 times 15 cards, which one of them it's a land, and you will have a Nyx land in every pack. So you have very few cards and you need to build a deck. At this stage, my advice is that go always for 2 color decks. 2 colors, you have all your cards sorted, you will find the most strong colors that you have, remove the other colors and begin building your deck. Straight and forward. 2 color deck. Even though in Theros we have the devotion, which you will tell me yes, but if I build a mono green deck, my devotion to green will be much stronger. But really and truly, in a limited type tournament in 6 packs, you will find very few cards and probably you will not build a very strong mono color deck. So go for 2 colors. Now, the deck building. Deck should be always 40 cards. Yes, let me go here, because now we're going to talk about the mana curve. Your deck should have 40 cards. Should I put 41? Should I put 42? Should I put 43? No, 40 cards. Not one less, not one more. And please don't break this rule. Obviously, less you will get a game loss. You can put more, you can do a 60, a 70, an 80 card deck if you want, no one will stop you. But really and truly, the percentage of hitting one of the good cards will be much lower than having a 40 deck cards. 40 deck, you have a much higher percentage. More than 40 deck, you will have a much lower percentage of hitting the good card you need. So 40 cards deck. Lands. Lands, it's 17. Yes, you need 17 lands. There's no rule than that. There's no other rule. 17 lands. Should I put 16? No. Should I put 18? No. Should I put 19? No. 20? No. 15? No. 17 lands. When it comes to spells, spells. In my opinion, my advice is that you will always need between 15 and 17 creatures. Yes, you had me well, 15 and 17 creatures. So when you're building your deck, make sure that you will have at least 15 creatures to a maximum of 17. Now, if you have quite strong creature, I would advise that you will put 1 or 2 other creatures, but remember that you need good spells. And when it comes to spells, I'm talking about enchantments, I'm talking about instants, I'm talking about artifacts, I'm talking about sorceries. In my case, you need 6 to 8 spells. So 15 to 17 creatures, 6 to 8 spells. And out of these 6 to 8 spells, make sure that you have good removal spells. Removal spells: destroy target creature, remove target creature from the game, exile target creatures. All these spells are very important and you need a good amount of them. My advice is that you will have at least 4 to 5 removal spells. Make sure that you will have 4 to 5 removal spells. Removal spells are very important in this type of tournament, in a pre-release tournament, in a limited tournament. Now, when it comes to building your deck, you have to follow the mana curve. Here, this is the mana curve. The mana curve, you can see here, the mana curve. You will always have very few creatures that have 1 casting cost. Here, really and truly tells you 0 to 2 creatures at 1 casting cost. Then 2, 3 casting cost. Here it says 4 to 6 and 3 to 5 creatures at this type of casting cost. 4 casting cost, you have 2 to 4, and then greater than 5, very few creatures. Here it says 1 to 3 and 0 to 2. And I do agree with this mana curve. So when you're building your deck and you have identified your strong 2 colors, obviously now you need to sort them by costing. So it's 1 costing, 2 costing, 3 costing, 4 costing, 5 plus. Simple. You will choose few for the 1 drop. Majority will be 2, 3 and 4, and very few 5, 6, 7, 8. Obviously, if you build a deck with 6, 7 cards, strong creatures that need 6, 7 mana cost, you will lose the game. Simple. Because your opponent will be very aggro, will be very fast, and you will lose the game. Probably by turn 4 or 5, you will try to manage to cast one of those creatures, your life counter is already at 2. So you lose the game. And obviously, if you will have the majority of your creatures between 1 and 2, let's say you have 10, 12 creatures, 1 and 2 drop, you will cast those creatures immediately. Obviously, your opponent will cast 3 and 4 to 2, 3, 3, and he or she will block all your creatures. So when it comes to the spells, make sure that you follow this mana curve. Few 1 casting cost, few 5 plus casting cost, majority 2, 3 and 4. Like this, I assure you, you will have a very good pre-release. Not assuring that you will win for sure the tournament, but you will have a quite good tournament in your pre-release. At the end of the day, a pre-release is about having fun, not winning every game. So have fun. My last point, my last advice, splash. So let's say that you will find a particular creature, a strong creature, and you would like to play that particular creature. Say it's a mythic card and you'd like to play it. But obviously your strong 2 colors, they are not that color creature. What you're going to do? You can splash. And when I say splash, it means that you will add another color to your deck. When you splash, make sure that you will splash 3 or 4 lands maximum. Don't go over 4 lands. If you go over 4 lands, you will have a very screw percentage of literally using or having into your hand, drawing into your hand the right lands. So 3 to 4 lands, and make sure that the splash card has at least a 4 plus casting cost. You need at least 4 turns to try to find that particular land that will help you casting that particular creature. Therefore, make sure that it's a 4 plus casting cost. If you have a creature that has, let's say you're playing green and red, and you have, let's say, Knight of Legion Ebon that need 1 swamp, I don't splash for that card. Simple. Now let's say you have this card, Yarok the Desecrated, and you're playing green and blue, and you're going to splash the swamp. In this case, I would splash for this card. The chance of drawing that swamp out of 3 and 4 lands will be higher, and by turn 4, then you have a very good percentage that you will have that particular land and you can cast Yarok the Desecrated. Let's say you have this card, the mirror, the magic mirror, and you want to splash the blue for this card. In this case, you need 3 blue, and my advice is that don't even think about splashing 3 blue for this card. In 6 or 5 games you're going to play, you will never make 3 islands, drawing 3 islands and cast them or play together. I will assure you, it's impossible. So when you want to splash for a particular card, the rules are these: 4+, and make sure that the color you're going to splash, you need only 1 in the casting cost of your card. In my case, Yarok Desecrated had only 1 swamp, therefore I will splash for it. If it had 2 swamp, I will not splash for it. 3 islands like this, I will not splash for that card. So these are my advices for a very good pre-release for Theros Beyond That. My last point is, obviously, every set has his own strengths. In case of Theros Beyond That, the strength of the set, these are the enchantments. Theros Beyond That is an enchantment set. It rotates around enchantments, so make sure that you will play those enchantments. You have the constellation mechanic, you have the constellation ability, where whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield, something extra will happen. So make sure that you're playing constellation cards. If you're playing cards that need enchantments for a trigger, make sure that you have enough enchantments. My advice is that try to build your deck around good enchantments. If you don't have good enchantments, don't worry, don't play enchantments, play 2 colors and play your normal game. But if you have good enchantments, and it will be very difficult that in Theros you don't have good enchantments. When I say enchantments, I'm obviously referring also to the creatures, enchantment creatures. So make sure that you have good enchantments in your deck. The strength of Theros Beyond That is the enchantments. So I hope you enjoyed this particular video regarding Theros Beyond That advices for your pre-release. Here the subscription button, subscribe for my channel for more interesting videos about future sets, about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.